Our first story is about YouTube's update to their policy. And just for the sake of clarity, I feel like this is more of some clarifications of existing enforcement that they've already been taking, rather than a totally new update. So as you know, VTubers and other content creators have been really struggling with ASMR content, and VTuber Milky has helpfully screenshotted a part of YouTube's policy that'll give us all a little bit more insight. The policy says that it allows more sex and nudity in fictional and scripted and educational content, which might sound like a loosening of restrictions, but that couldn't be any farther from the truth. It must be in the proper context and not cross the line of sexually gratifying content. And as an example of this, their very next paragraph specifically says they're going to be cracking down on ASMR content. If you do anything remotely sexual sounding in your ASMR content, which many content creators do, it's gonna start getting demonetized. This is not strictly confirmed, but this is something that I've seen floating around, and that's the fact that VTubers are more likely to be hit by these ASMR demonetizations because they have an animated avatar YouTube believes appeals to children. So having ASMR content that they believe is targeted towards children is going to make you exponentially more likely to get hit by this demonetization. You may notice old content that has been up for a very long time without issue is gonna start being removed. So any content that was uploaded before September 7th is just gonna get outright removed but not result in a strike. I'm very happy to hear that it's not going to result in a strike, but having a whole back catalog of ASMR content totally removed from your channel is honestly really shitty. Imagine if you were a VTuber ASMR channel, like that was your main thing. All of your content possibly is just gonna be gone. And this is important. YouTube is now enforcing a ban on links to certain sites. The paragraph here just specifies pornography or otherwise violating YouTube's community guidelines, and I'm almost certain this is in reference to OnlyFans specifically, because a lot of ASMR artists will have more or less say-so ASMR streams and then advertise their OnlyFans to redirect traffic to there. Anyone doing that type of content, you need to go into your descriptions and pinned comments, and you need to delete all links to your OnlyFans or any other type of unscrupulous websites, because this is going to get you policy violations. This is going to get you demonetized. So if you have any of those links, you gotta go through potentially many videos and delete those links. Whether or not you agree with that particular one, it feels like YouTube is doing what people have been begging Twitch to do, even though I'm personally not a fan of this type of ban. If you think about what's going on in Twitch, where some content creators are able to get away with a lot of stuff that feels like borderline softcore porn that everyone is railing against on Twitch, YouTube is actually taking action against that content that people are actually begging Twitch to do, and I find that kind of interesting. And if you're wondering why I'm mad that YouTube is cracking down on ASMR content, but I'm also mad at Twitch for not cracking down on ASMR content, it's specifically because the YouTube algorithm will only show you stuff that you want to see. So if you don't like ASMR or you don't like, borderline content, it simply won't show it to you. But on Twitch, this is on the front page, this is on the recommended, this is everywhere, and it's harder to avoid. So if you don't want that type of experience on this content hosting platform, it's unavoidable on Twitch and totally avoidable on YouTube. So it should be Twitch cracking down on enforcement, not YouTube. And the second reason that I'm for Twitch cracking down and against YouTube cracking down is because a lot of these content creators on YouTube have these massive back catalogs of content that could go up in smoke overnight, and that I'm very, very against. That's why I have a discrepancy in how I feel about these enforcement policies, and that's why I feel like both platforms are doing 100% the wrong thing entirely. So if you're doing ASMR content on YouTube, I would recommend wholly switching over to Twitch. I would really like to hear your opinions down below, what you think of that change and what you think of Twitch and YouTube's policies against ASMR content and content that could be perceived as sexually gratifying. Now, because TikTok was feeling bored in the not being a piece of shit category, TikTok has decided to restrict content creators that use fake blood. Here's an example of a VTuber with some quote strawberry jam on their face having their video age restricted. So if you have a avatar and it's got that blood splash effect, don't upload those clips to TikTok because they will be age restricted. The last thing I want to cover is this streamer on Twitch who got blackmailed and threatened to be doxxed if she didn't comply with their sexual demands.
I've been dealing with a stalker that has been constantly threatening to leak a bunch of my information, my private life, and basically dox me unless I complied with their sexual demands.
And even though this isn't a VTuber story and I usually cover VTuber stuff, I really want to show this particular story because I feel like it's very relevant. Doxing is a huge issue for all content creators, VTuber or otherwise. And I think it's particularly disgusting that it's not just doxing as a general attack. People are using these blackmail attacks for sexually gratifying reasons, which is just, in my opinion, an extra layer of heinous on top of something that's already completely heinous. And this bothers me greatly on a very personal level. I mean, not only are you having your personal information held over you like the sword of Damocles, you're also being sexually exploited. It's disgusting on so many levels. And I feel like we don't talk often enough about how vulnerable a lot of content creators are. This could happen to anyone. And the second reason I want to bring up this particular story is if you see any online post, any YouTube video, whatever, if you see any media that says they have the information of a content creator, ignore it. Do not give these people any attention. And if you do come across it, report it and ignore it. Do not spread awareness when this sort of stuff gets leaked, because this is the sort of stuff that can ruin people's lives. When someone knows your name and address, they can come to your house, and people have come to content creators' houses before. They can swat these content creators, which results in a huge headache and could potentially kill them. This is a serious issue. If you see doxed content anywhere, just report it and ignore it. Do not engage, because if you engage, you're giving that doxer exactly what they want, and you're also, by liking and commenting or whatever, you're also spreading that information, even if that wasn't your intention. Report and ignore, guys. Report and ignore. I'm sorry we ended on a heavy note, but I hope you enjoyed this particular video. Leave a like and check out my other videos on the channel for more VTuber news content. Bye, guys!